Welcome to MAP. I'm Ronnie Hayes. Let's talk bad news for Heath fans on the Walking Dead TV show. Alright, Deadheads, Entertainment Weekly, yeah, I believe that's who it was. Entertainment Weekly announced that Corey Hawkins, he has been cast in a reboot of an old TV show called 24. Previously, it was with Keith Sutherland. I think it ran like a million friggin' seasons. They're rebooting it now, kind of changing it up. It's going to follow one character. I don't know what they named him. I forget what it said in the article. But it's going to follow this one character as well as a group of characters in whatever they do. I think the original show, it primarily focused on, the superstar of it, which was Jack Bauer. This one, it's going to focus on a lot more characters. I think that's what the article was getting at. And it's not going to be 24 episodes like the previous one. It's only going to be 12. So that means that the filming schedule is going to be a lot easier than, it's going to be half of what it was on the original show. With that being said, yes, we all know, and a lot of fans out there know, that actors can do movies and other TV shows at the same time that they're on The Walking Dead. That's absolutely possible. No one's arguing that. However, what we have to look at here is how demanding is this going to be on his schedule? And not just how demanding is it going to be on his schedule, but we have to look at, well, why did he get cast in this? Did he get cast in this because it's not going to interfere with The Walking Dead? Or did he get cast in this because he was looking for a new job because he was killed off of The Walking Dead? Is it possible that Negan kills Heath in the TV show? That would be one hell of a remix, and I know, and I agree, emotionally it doesn't hold a flame to Daryl or Glenn or even Carol or Maggie, any of these other characters that we truly love, and I'm still convinced it has to be a character that we are connected to or that affects the story in moving forward, that character's specific death. With Heath, they can bring him in, do something with him special in 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. They got all these episodes. They could really get us connected with the guy, and then boom, Negan comes in and takes him out. Now, other things we have to look at here would have to be when they're going to film it. It would have to be when. We do know it's 12 episodes. We do know he was already cast for the pilot, so it's definitely not picked up. But seeing that 24 has such a huge fan base, I'm assuming it's at least going to get one season. Most likely definite. You don't go into a project like 24 having an already established fan base and then screw that up. I just don't see that happening. So it's likely it will get picked up, but we have to look at when they're filming. Since they're announcing it now, and they're not going to go into filming season 7 for The Walking Dead for a few months yet. What do we got? We're in the end of January. We got February, March, April, May. So yeah, we got a few months yet. They're not even going to go into filming then, which means there's plenty of time to get it filmed now. Get the pilot, go get it ordered, go get a whole season ordered. That's 12 episodes. If they come back in a month from now and film the other 11, yeah, I think that's doable. Taking that into consideration with how much he's not needed as much as, other characters on the Walking Dead, because the character of Heath isn't needed anywhere near as much as Rick or Daryl or Michonne or anyone else. So I think this is absolutely doable that he can be in both. However, we still have to look at the possibility that the reason he's signed on to this project is that he could have got killed off in season 6. It's likely that, or he decided he would rather be a lead on his own show or be one of the main leads than a secondary character on The Walking Dead. I mean, that's a gamble in itself, because I strongly believe that the fans you're going to make on The Walking Dead will follow you, and that's like beneficial to your career. Oh, and another thing I want to talk about is how they remixed the story. Now, we have to look at what they did with Holly. Holly was a character in the comic that has a couple scenes in the comic, a couple moments, especially story moments, that rival a lot of what Heath does, Off the top of my head, if you were like, okay, who has a certain scene that is more memorable in the comic book, Holly or Heath? Instantly, I pick Holly. Off the top of my head, I can't picture one with Heath. I do know one, it's kind of like explosive, but it doesn't have that same impact. So yeah, I would go with Holly. Now we have to look at, that's a character that, in my opinion, has a more memorable scene by far than this other character, and she just got a mention. That was it. Like, oh, that's Holly, and then it was a wrap. Sorry, that was actually an important call. I was waiting for that call. Good news, though. Good news for me. And now I bet you want to know what it is. Are you curious? You want me to tell you? Okay, here it is. Just kidding. It's private. It's private. Anyway, what was I talking about? I tell you what, I tried recording this video like 7 different times. I am not with it. I got a million different things going on. This is a topic that it's one of those, because part of it could actually be something. Another part of it could be nothing. Obviously, actors can do 2 different projects. It all matters on how time consuming they are, and it matters on scheduling. If they're filming at the same exact time and one project is extremely time consuming and another project is just like, yeah, it's decently time consuming, you're going to have problems. However, if he's doing The Walking Dead and it's not very time consuming and it films at different times, a different time of year as the other project, and that other project is decently time consuming, then yes, obviously he can do both. But we also have to understand, as fans, it's not just does this actor have time in his schedule to film his scenes. It's not about just that. It's does this actor have time to do interviews, to promote, to do this and that. With promotions, if you don't get it on the right time, you know what I mean? That right time of month, right time of year, you can't just push it off. If you push it off to a certain point, it's not a topic anymore, and there's just no point for you to do the interview. There's that hot moment to promote a new project, you know what I mean? And if you miss it, well, then you missed it. So yeah, timing and scheduling is very, very, very important. So yeah. Another thing I want to go back to before I got the phone call, the remixing the story. Holly, more memorable moment, and then compared to Heath. Now that doesn't really matter, and I'm not saying I like one better than the other. I'm just pointing out like a moment as an example. Holly in the show had one mention killed off, and they pretty much scrapped her entire story, which we should have saw coming, honestly, because they remixed Abraham in a way where he didn't need Holly's story. It just, if you look in it and dissect it, you can see how the story flows because of this and this and this. But if you look at it now, understanding how it happened in the comic, if you look at the show, you could kind of say, okay, we don't need this because they did this. We don't need this because they didn't do this. We don't need this. It's the same thing with Heath. Same worries, I should say, because in the comic he hooked up with Denise and everything. They had something important, and it's kind of like the Abraham and Holly situation. Heath is not hooking up with Denise, clearly because it appears that she's a lesbian in The Walking Dead. Either that or she just, you know, they're confusing us. I don't know. I thought she was, you know, I don't know. She could even be bi. Hey, who knows? But it looked like they were trying to make a connection with her and Tara, more so than, you know, her and Heath. They're not doing anything there. Listen, thoughts and opinions, and please, we know. They could do multiple projects. That's not the point. The point here is this seems a little more time consuming. It's a level of, you know, dedication, and you need to be there more than doing a movie. I'm gonna shut up now. With that said, give me your thoughts and opinions on this topic of Heath, and remember, I'm gonna put the link in the description if you want to read that full article. If you are a huge fan of 24 or just a fan of it, read that anyway, because it will give you a lot more information than I just gave you now. So thoughts and opinions about Heath. Are you worried at all they're going to remix his character right out of the show? And how shitty would that be? I'm going to, right off the bat, I'm going to say it's pretty shitty, because I think he's got great charisma, the actor anyway. I think they casted a very good Heath, and I want to see him go on to a few more seasons, and I'm going to put my money on it. Right now that he does. But I'm only saying that because I want him to. Thoughts and opinions in the comment box. I'm done talking. It's your turn. Subscribe now.